Hi, this is James A. Full Capital, and I'm here with Matt Wideman of Newmark. Matt, thanks for jumping on.
James, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, the What's the Deal has been a little bit on the shelf, so I appreciate you jumping on and being able to talk through this deal, Cedar Trails. So before we start getting too deep into it, maybe give people a little bit of your background, and then we'll jump into this deal out in Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely, James. Thanks for having me on. So my background is played professional soccer for a season or two. Realized that an $800 month-to-month contract was not going to cover my $900 a month rent on my apartment, and so decided I have to get a real job and worked on the principal side, doing acquisitions, property management, dispositions, business plans, all the fun stuff with a group called Trivest. And after about a decade there, jumped over to the dark side of brokerage and been here ever since and love it. Great spot with Newmark. And Bart and I focus exclusively on the secondary markets in the state of Texas. And Tyler's a great market to be in. And we're going to get to talk about that today.
All right, perfect. I did not know you played soccer, so I'm glad we did
There you
that
go.
little intro. And I guess the same way that tenants can go month to month, I guess they can put you on month to month as a soccer player. I didn't know
Man, it,
that.
it was it was great. It was great.
All right, let's jump in. So the first question people are going to have is, where's Tyler? So give people a little idea of where's Tyler and sort of a little bit about the market, and I'll just go through a couple slides here.
Yeah, Tyler's an hour and a half east of Dallas. It's been a very growing market. What's unique about Tyler, I mean, frankly, a lot of people within the Metroplex can probably get to Tyler faster than they could across the Metroplex, just given all the traffic that's going on now. So I think it's a very positive market. It's right there off I-20. It's distribution hub. I mean, a lot of things going for it. We're going to talk more about that, but yeah, Tyler's a great little location in East Texas.
So I pulled up a map, sort of satellite view of sort of downtown Tyler and then sort of where this deal sits. So tell us a little bit about sort of how Tyler sort of lays out and sort of what side of the tracks do you want to be on in Tyler?
Yeah, so it's interesting. A lot of towns you want to be on the north side of town. Tyler's a little bit unique. You want to be on the south side. So the further south, further east, west you go, usually the better on the outside of the loop there. And Cedar Trails, no exceptions, right there on the southeast side of town, not too far from the University of Texas at Tyler, which has just been a booming college piece within Tyler. About 10,000 students go there, which is no small number. And those enrollment numbers continue to go up. So yeah, it's a great location on the southeast side of Tyler. Very good spot.
All right. And then talk about a little bit. So is this the main sort of healthcare facilities in Tyler, sort of on the southeast side of downtown?
Absolutely, yeah. There's four hospital systems within East Texas. They've all conglomerated around UT Tyler, and what they're doing actually right there where UT Health Tyler is in the center. We can talk about this later too, but there's a $300 million hospital. It's a research hospital that's just broken ground. The region's approved it, the state has approved it, and the hope and aim of Tyler is to make this an MD Anderson out here in East Texas. The first doctors are going to start their residency here in the fall. There's been about 300 doctors. This is a huge thing for Tyler. I mean, Tyler's got about 100,000 jobs, give or take. And the Perriman Group estimates that directly, this will add about 16,000 jobs, indirectly, up to 30,000 jobs to a market like this. I mean, that's like adding a million jobs to DFW by comparison. And this is massive for what's going on in this market. And you can see here, this kind of shows the growth that's happened over Tyler. I don't know if it's going to work for us,
Oh,
but
there you go.
there it
I
goes.
hit the
Yeah, you can
button.
kind of see over the last 20 years how Tyler has just expanded. You can see the loop that they've put in on the outside of town. That's a toll road. They've got the airport that's been built, but particularly around UT Tyler, there's a lot of activity. Cedar Trails has been a huge beneficiary of that, and then we anticipate that Tyler is going to continue to grow. There's really no boundaries to the sprawl here, and it's poised to do really really well, sitting off 20 with the healthcare and education driving the market.
All right. So you touched on a couple of these things. So unemployment still low. MSA population about 240,000. And then touch on this business park. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so right off I-20, the city just approved 412 acres that they're going to put in, and that's going to facilitate a lot more distribution facilities and companies coming out to Tyler, and we anticipate that to continue. Tyler's GDP, James, sits about $13 billion, and that's a massive number. If you took Tyler and said, Tyler, let's just make you a country, Tyler would have a GDP that's greater than 60 countries in the world. Not only that, but they'd put it on par with like a Monaco, a Kosovo. It even outpaced Rwanda. That's what's going on out here in East Texas. When we touched on the population of Tyler, about 240,000. If you couple Tyler with Longview, which is just to the east, it's about the same distance as Fort Worth is to Dallas.
Right.
Uh, that's another 250,000 plus people out in East Texas. You tack those together, that's over 500,000 people going on out here. I mean, that's like Lexington, Kentucky, or Portland, Maine, out here in East Texas. I mean, there's a lot of activity going on, and it's not that far from DFW. And I think COVID has had an impact. I think when COVID struck, a lot of people started saying, hey, I don't have to live in DFW proper. I can go to Tyler and enjoy my life. And they've moved there, and they still, enjoy some jobs from Dallas. But really, the big thing, James, that's going on in Tyler is going to be that UT Tyler Health Hospital, the research hospital. That is a massive thing. I can't overstate the impact that that's going to have to the economy. What's interesting is we've added about 30,000 people in the last decade out in Tyler,
Right.
but we've only built about 700 units.
Not a lot of new supply out there, right?
Not there's none really.
None.
And
Okay.
to my knowledge, there's maybe one deal or two deals in the pipeline that are getting talked about right now. And what that's done is it's enabled folks to really implement value adds out in a place like Tyler. And they're getting the rents for it because people want a nice place to stay. And so if you can supply that to them, the demand is there and you're getting the rents.
So let's jump into Cedar Trails a little bit. So this is a 1980s deal. I pulled up some exterior, some amenity pictures here. Talk through the exterior for people of what they'll see if they come out and take a look.
Yeah, I mean, Cedar Trails tucked back. It's kind of sits alone by itself. It gives a nice, quiet feel to folks who live there. It feels like home. It's not along a bustling street, but there's a lot of positivity going on in that part of town, and Cedar Trails feeds off of that, and folks like living there. It's all two-story product, a handful of buildings. You've got tennis court, a pool, the leasing facility, and the fitness room. Every amenity that you want is there at Cedar Trails, and folks, there's also a dog park that the owner has put into. So all the things are there that somebody would want to live at Cedar Trails.
All right. And then I'm guessing this is maybe the model here.
This is the model, James, and
Okay.
this is a depiction of an upgraded unit.
Okay.
They only have 6 of these on site right now. The rest of the units have yet to be upgraded. So I think there's a real potential there, but you can see how good and clean it looks. Gooseneck faucet, backsplash tile, 2-inch blinds, black appliance package, resurface the countertop, cabinet fronts. I mean, it's a good looking product.
All right. So here's a little bit about the floor plan. I didn't have all the unit mix, but so I guess you got, 1s, 2s, and 3s. And then I'm seeing washer and dryers on the 2s and 3s.
That's correct.
Okay. And then are they supplying those or just connections?
So on the 6 units that they've upgraded, they have supplied the washer and dryers, but the remainder of the units, there are no washer and dryers provided, even though they have full-size connections. So I think that's something that somebody could really come in and implement and put in, is the incremental adding of the washer and dryers.
And then what percentage of the 120 units are 2s and 3s?
It's about 2/3, I believe 1/3 or so are 1 bedrooms.
Okay. All right. So, and someone's going to come in, buy this deal. What do you think sort of the upside potential on this particular deal is?
Yeah, I think it's real simple. It's just an execution of a value add strategy on the interior of the units. And we took the picture here of what the model looks like. We also took a picture of what one of the comps has done, just to give you an idea of what could be done. And we put together a general list and said, hey, if you implemented this strategy and you put all these things in, maybe you do a stainless package, maybe do a black appliance package, maybe do granite countertops, maybe just resurface. But nonetheless, we think there's real potential, and you could push rents as much as $150, and it would cost you about $7,000 a unit if you took this route. and we think there's a real potential for it. I mean, I think people want a nice place to live, and there's just not a lot of product available, particularly in this part of town. There just hadn't been anything built.
So on the classic units, real quick. So on the classic units, is it just white appliances and like original
Yeah,
original
I mean,
countertops and cabinets?
you're going to see some original cabinets. You're going to see some butcher block type countertops. You're going to see almond or white appliance package. I mean, you could really use some love, and a lot of folks who live here continue to maintain their residency here. So there hasn't been a lot of turnover either over the hold of this owner. So I think there's real potential as you turn units to upgrade them.
Okay. All right. So here's a little snapshot of sort of the T12 and T3. So I mean, it's been pretty stable property. So we underwrote the deal just for sort of Fannie Freddie. We took some of the expenses down to sort of a pro forma level for someone new coming in. And so we were able to size this loan. We were getting about 10 and a half million on Fannie and Freddie. And let me just confirm. So the whisper price on this deal is what, Matt?
Yeah, we're looking around 15 million, give or take 125,000 a unit. I think the good news on the agency front, James, you might know this, is I believe Fannie just took Tyler off of pre-review. Is that correct?
Yeah, so Fannie and Freddie, we got it sized up, and sometimes you send stuff into Fannie and Freddie, and they don't even send you a quote back. They just sort of shut it down. So it was good. They came back with a quote right around 65%. So just depending on sort of where 10-year treasury is sitting, depending on what your plan is for the property, whether it's yield maintenance or you want to do a step down prepayment, that's going to drive your proceeds, but in that 10 and a half million dollar range. And then, yeah, I mean, we looked at a non-recourse bridge out there, and it is definitely a little bit more expensive on the interest rate right now, probably 8 to 9%. I think if you had a heavier lift, maybe that would make some sense. But with agency getting to a good number, I'd probably just raise the money from your investors on the rehab on this one. So I know this one you just had it coming soon, so we're a little early on this one. But any other comments around timing or tours or sort of full package on this one, Matt?
Yeah, we expect to have the OM ready in a couple weeks here, and we can go ahead and start lining tours up and getting folks out there to see the product, and also get some good barbecue. There's some good spots out in Tyler. But
what's your number one barbecue spot in Tyler?
That's right. That's right. If you want some fun, do the Texas Monthly and track the top 50 barbecue spots, and there's going to be a handful of them in Tyler. So always a good trip out to Tyler to go see a deal like this and eat some good food.
All right, Matt. Any final comments on the deal? Anything else that we didn't cover that you want to hit?
Listen, I think it's a great opportunity to jump into a booming market. I think Tyler is poised to just take off. There's not a lot of product that's being built out there. There's not a lot of product available. This gives you an opportunity to jump into a market that's going to outperform what I think is for a lot of the secondary markets, potentially the whole state. And you're sitting in a really good location, not far from UT Tyler, not far from everything going on with the healthcare system that's poised to capture a lot of that growth that's going on in Tyler. So love to help you guys. I know James love to help you on the debt, and just appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
All right, Matt, thanks for coming on, sharing a little bit of wisdom, a little barbecue advice, and we'll go ahead and get out there, see some of the property, and then get some offers in. So I appreciate you coming on today, Matt.
Thanks, James. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks.